beautiful ones. Thanks for joining today. So this is a lovely practice for those of us who do a lot of cycling. But if you don't cycle a lot, it is also just a delicious, yummy practice. You will need a couple of things. So you will need something that you can use as a strap. It might be a belt, it might be a towel, anything that you can use as a strap, and just have that nearby. If you have sensitive knees or a very hard floor, then you might have a towel or a blanket that you can put your knees on. And we're going to begin a little differently today. We'll begin with our mat rolled up. So I'm going to keep my mat actually like this and use my beloved's mat instead. I'm lucky and I'm lazy. So I'm going to use this rolled up mat, but you might just roll up your mat and we'll start off together. So let's come on to all fours. Place your rolled up mat off to one side. You won't need it for now, but if you have your blanket or your towel for your knees, just put that on your floor and we'll kneel on the blanket or the towel and tuck the toes under. Let's sit the hips back towards the heels. And we'll just take a moment to arrive. So for some of us, this might be really intense in the soles of the feet, so you might be leaning the weight a little further forward instead, or perhaps even coming up and standing on the shins. And let's just start by drawing our awareness all the way down to the soles of the feet and to the little crevices underneath the toes. And it's as though you're also able to direct the breath to the soles of the feet. Each inhale drawing fresh air into the body and allowing it to wash all the way down to your feet. We'll take just a couple more breaths here, and you might roll the shoulders up and back and down a few times. One more breath. Okay, let's gently come forward onto the hands and untuck the toes. Point the toes back a moment and let's find our rolled up mat. And we're going to keep the knees on the blanket or on the floor if they're comfortable, and place the rolled up mat behind us, the tops of your feet on the mat roll. You can have the mat roll about mid-foot, might be quite a good spot to be today. And maybe you guessed it. Okay, we're going to sit the hips back towards the heels again. And really we're doing exactly the opposite of the toes tucked. Now we've got lots of beautiful length through the top of the foot. And again, if it feels intense, you can just shift the weight onto the hands for a moment and then come back. Or if you're feeling okay, you might step the hands a little bit behind you. Lean back on the hands gently. And some of us, especially if you have been cycling a lot, you might even start to feel a lengthening through the top of the thigh here, the quadriceps. And then the final option, and this is just an option, right? Just another stepping stone, is to play a little with lifting alternate knees up off the floor or up off your blanket. See how that feels. And wherever you are right now, let's just be here together. Another breath. If you're leaning back, or gently come forward, come onto the hands, take your feet off your mat roll, and then we'll roll our mat out and meet together on our yoga mat, ready to begin the practice. So once you've got your mat rolled out in front of you, you might keep continuing to use the folded blanket or towel for your knees, and we'll come onto all fours, tabletop. So we'll shift our attention now up the body into the calves. This is quite a delicious one, but for some of us it just won't work, in which case you might choose to just enjoy a lovely long languid child's pose instead. So if you'd like to come with me, we'll pick up our left foot, cross the left ankle behind us to rest on the right calf muscle, and place the ankle about mid-calf. So that might mean you need to shift the left knee a little bit so the ankle's about in the middle of the calf. And then we'll gently ease the weight back, the hips back, so that we start to sit our weight down on our ankle as it presses into the belly of our calf muscle. And you might sit a little further upright, so a little more weight travels down. So the ankle is giving us that pressure release, if you like. So this is where we can really remember to breathe. And I feel like this is quite valuable for some of us. So if you wanted to, you could spend a lot longer here, shifting the position of the ankle from the top of the calf, slowly traveling down to the bottom. You could even be about 10 minutes on each side. But today, for now, we just spend a short while. And let's come forward and release. Unhook the left ankle from the right calf, and we'll switch sides. Right ankle coming across. Rest the ankle about mid-calf. Make little adjustments and then start to sit the weight back. And sometimes as you sit the weight back, you feel like maybe it's not quite an interesting point to be. Maybe there's nothing too much there. So you might shift forward and just slightly adjust the position of the ankle, and then sit back again and find somewhere interesting to stay and sit the weight down over the ankle as it presses down into the calf. Good. One more breath, I think. Lovely. Okay, let's shift forward, hands and knees, all fours. Adjust the knees under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders for a moment. So you just find neutral spine and tabletop. And then we'll actually step the hands about a hand's length further forward. Tuck the toes and hover the knees just a little bit up off the mat or your folded blanket. And as you press the hands into the mat, shift the hips back towards the heels and roll the sitting bones up towards the ceiling behind you. And then when you're ready, start to lift the hips, straighten the legs, drop the heels, and you'll find yourself in your first downward facing dog. If you're feeling quite tight today in this first down dog, then you might step the feet up a little closer to the hands and have the feet nice and wide on the mat, big toe on the mat and the other toes drifting off the mat, so you're in a lovely short, wide downward dog. This can be really delicious. So wherever you are, just find a little movement, maybe a little sway of the hips side to side, or a bicycle through the legs. Okay, next exhalation. Let's step our right foot forward between the hands and lower the left knee to the mat or to your folded blanket or towel, and bring both hands to the front thigh. So if you cycle a lot, the chances are that the front of your hip and thigh can get quite sticky, maybe feeling quite tight. So this is a nice opportunity to unwind here through the front of your left hip and thigh, finding a gentle lengthening of the top rim of your buttock down towards the floor behind you, and a firming of your left buttock, your left glutes, to help to open a little more and lengthen in the left hip flexors in the front of the left hip. Let's reach our left arm up overhead, and we'll bend the elbow, right hand to left elbow, and just an easy little side bend up and over to the right. And come back up to center. Release the right hand to the outside of the right thigh, and we'll turn to the right, left elbow to right knee, and right hand to left hand. You might stay with the back knee on the mat or tuck the back toes and lift the back knee away. Take another inhale, last inhale. And we'll exhale and release and step back to downward facing dog, or maybe it's a child's pose for you today. 2 easy breaths in down dog or child's pose. And let's shift second side, beautiful one. So left foot forward and right knee to mat. Both hands to front thigh. Feet anchoring down. Tail lengthening down. Right buttock firming. You might even use your hand there just to feel the muscles firming beneath the hand. Long spine and easy breath. Right arm reaches. We'll bend the elbow and bring left hand to right elbow and gently lean over to the left. Return upright. Left hand to left thigh, and let's turn to the left. Right elbow to left knee. Hands in prayer. And as you press the left hand down into the right hand, there's a feeling of the spine lengthening, the crown of the head lengthening diagonally forward and upward beyond the front of the mat. And if you like, tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Next exhalation, let us release. Hands to the mat and step back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, or child's pose, Balasana. Another breath here. Okay, Let's step our right foot now outside our right hand. So right foot wide, okay? Right toes turned out a little bit. This gives us a little bit more space in the front hip here as we lower our left knee down onto the mat or the blanket again. Okay, let's take 2 variations of our lizard lunge today. So keep the left hand on the mat, turn to the right, pick up the left foot. Some of us will reach the hand all the way to the foot. And if you're reaching the hand all the way to the foot, reach it to the outer edge of the foot. So the palm of the hand faces outward away from you with the thumb pointing upward, and kick the foot into the hand, lean back. So there's a lovely little back bend here and an opener for the right side of the chest and shoulder. And if you are not able to take a hold of the foot with the hand, then use your strap today. Bring it around the foot and hold the strap, right? And kick the foot into the strap. And same again, lean back. Just another breath in this variation. Right. And those of us that are using the strap, now start to turn your chest forward. So instead of opening the shoulder upward and leaning back, we turn the chest forward and gently pull the foot in towards the back of that left hip. And if you're holding onto the foot, same again, turn forward, spin the hand over the top of the toes. So now you are holding the inside of the foot with the thumb facing down and the back of the hand facing out away from you. And turn the chest forward. Slightly different, right? Slightly different. This one gets just a little more into the quadriceps. And I think that's just about enough for now today. So let's release and make our way back to a down dog or a brief child's pose. Cycle through the legs. Bicycle through the legs. If you're in a down dog, allow the circulation to just flush through the legs, the hip joints, the pelvis, up the spine, down the arms, full body, facilitating circulation. And then final side, beautiful ones. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Lower the right knee down onto the mat. The wider stance is just much more accessible, so it's nice to have the left foot wide on the mat. Arriving here. And then right hand stays where it is. And we pick up the right foot, reach back, take a hold of the foot if you are able to, if that's there for you today. Right? Thumb upwards, palm facing outwards to the left. Press the foot into the hand, lean back. And if you're using the strap, be patient with yourself. It can take a moment, right? A moment or two to lasso the strap around your foot. So be patient with yourself and then come in when you're ready and press the foot into the strap. Deep breath. The quadriceps are really big muscles, so the sensation associated with lengthening them can be intense sometimes. Take a break if you need to, whenever you need. And let's move to the second iteration. So those of us holding the strap can simply turn the chest forward now and gently pull the heel in maybe just a little closer. Okay? And those of us that were holding the foot, just pivot or swivel the hand over the toes. So now you're holding the inside of the foot, thumb pointing down towards the mat and chest forward, drawing the heel in. And when it feels like enough, just let go and I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. or child's pose. We'll slowly lower the knees to the mat, and we're going to come and lay on our backs. So if you are using the blanket or a towel underneath your knees, let's bring that back now to the back of the mat so you can rest the back of your head on the blanket. That can be really nice, especially for some of us who come back and lay on our backs and our chins are lifting a lot higher than our forehead. Can help to elongate through the back of the neck. As we come down, head on the blanket, shoulders off the blanket on the mat, knees bent, feet on the mat. Outer right ankle to top of left thigh, figure 4. Left foot might stay on the floor, you might pick it up, reach through, interlace the hands in front of the left shin or behind the left thigh. So now we'll just enjoy some lovely unwinding for the outer, the lateral part of the hip and the back of the hip. Good. Next exhale, release the left foot back down onto the mat and hug the right knee into the chest. We'll take the strap around the ball of the right foot and reach the right foot up towards the ceiling. Walk the hands up the strap so the arms are straight, and you can just use the weight of the arms and gravity to gently tug on the leg. Shoulders nestled down comfortably on the mat. And the left leg might reach away from you, out long. We'll take both ends of the strap into the left hand and just guide your right leg just about 30 degrees or so across the body to the left until your right foot is about hovering above your left hip, keeping the back of your pelvis on the right side connected to the mat. Easy full breath. And we'll return to center, release the strap, hug the right knee back into the chest. Let's bring the sole of the right foot to the top of the left thigh. Use the left hand to guide your right knee across the body to the left. And open the right arm out to the side. Wherever's comfortable for you. Sometimes it can be nice to reach the arm up overhead too, enjoying length through the side of the body. Enjoying one more breath here together. Let's return. Hug the right knee back in again. And then release, knees bent, feet to the mat. Take a moment, take a breath. And second side, left ankle to the top of the right thigh. And you might pick up the right foot and reach through to hold the right leg. And you can experiment here. I find that if I lean just ever so slightly to the right, I get a little more sense of release in my outer left hip. So that might be the case for you too. You can play with little micro adjustments, finding just right. And we'll let go. Hug the left knee in for a moment. And last time with the strap or the belt or the towel, left foot upwards. Supta Padangusthasana. Right leg reaching away. And of course we are looking perhaps for a post-cycling release, but always remembering that we're using the poses to be in the body, to have embodied experience, rather than using the body to get into poses. Let's hold the belt with the right hand now and just guide the leg a little across the body to the right. About 30 degrees, just a little, so we can access the lateral side, the outer edge of your left leg. And back to the middle. Release the strap, pop the strap off to one side, hug the left knee in once again. And then we'll bring sole of left foot across to the top of the right thigh and journey into the twist on this side. Left knee crossing the body and left arm opening out. Journeying in any amount. There's no final destination. The left knee doesn't need to come to the floor on the right side. This is about nourishing the body-mind system. Movement as medicine. And then we return. A final hug of the left knee in. And then we'll draw both knees in. Wrap the arms around the legs. And maybe a little rock side to side is delicious. Or you might open the knees outward, lift the feet so the shins are vertical, and to happy baby pose, right? Hands can hold the feet. They might just hold the backs of the thighs. You might rock a little, play here. Play with straightening alternate legs or drawing the soles of the feet toward one another. Doesn't need to be static or stagnant. Everything in constant flux. And then we'll let it go. Hug the knees into the chest a last time. And either rock yourself all the way back up to sit or roll to a side and press yourself up to sit comfortably for a moment. We'll close with just a last minute of just sitting comfortably. Maybe you sit on your folded up blanket or a cushion or even on your sofa if you're practicing somewhere with a chair or a sofa. And just let the shoulders slide back and down. And sitting doesn't need to be a chore. It doesn't need to be looking a certain way, right? As long as there's a sense of groundedness and steadiness coupled with ease. Allowing your breath to come and go. And watching as the river of life just moves through you. Sensations in the body arising, staying a while, and passing. Observing thoughts or feelings that might be present there for you too. Sounds in your space, perhaps. Welcoming it all. And bathing in beingness. Precious moments of beingness. Let's lift the hands, fold the palms. Thank you so much, beautiful beings, for sharing your practice. If this felt beneficial for you, please feel free to subscribe. Or you might enjoy longer form practices on my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace, peace, peace.